Okay, hi all, good morning. So last week we have discussed about joints and we have completed the joints concepts. But still, if you have any question, so we will take the questions after 10 a.m. today because we have few participants from other batches as well. So what I'm planning is, sorry, yours is February weekend batch, right? So here in your batch, those who are from the February weekend batch, these topics are pending, right? Till here. So what I'm planning is, uh, first of all, I will cover these topics. Okay. Line number 62 till 77. This is simple. 89 till 91 is very simple. Hard date will take 10 to 15 minutes, but it's fine. I will cover this. This is very simple, very boring as well. So my plan for your batches, I will cover till here. Okay, because these topics, the participants from few other batches, they want to cover these topics. So first of all, I will complete this, and then for your February weekend batch, I will start this window function. I don't want to rush through this. Okay, this is a very important concept. Okay, so again, I'm like we'll miss the timelines. It happens in every batch. So today is 18th, 19th, 25th, 26th. I have planned to complete by 26th your batch, but I think it will go till 2nd of April. This was the plan I have. If anyone has any concern, they can connect on my present window. Hope it is fine. Shall I start then?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Tanvi.
Okay. And from other batches, those who are not able to join because of some commitment, don't worry, we will share the recording to all the participants, to the entire participants list in the respective batches separately. Okay. So let's start with alter command. Okay. 1 minute. WhatsApp is just telling me let me close this. I will start with alter. Listen very carefully. Although alter is not that much useful. I think I was having few examples of alter. See, this is not that much useful. Okay, even I'm planning to remove this alt from next batch from the curriculum. Why it is not useful? Because generally it is used by data engineers or DB only. Even data engineers or SQL developer or ETL developer, very rarely they use this. And in interview, so far I have not heard any interviewer asking questions based on this. But because this was in my curriculum, so that's why I'm covering it. Okay, and this is very simple. There's no such logic. Please go on, you guys. Okay, so alter. So suppose you have this table, create table employee. You have employee ID, first name. My voice is audible to everyone. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Tanvir.
Okay, fine. So, yeah. So this is an employee table I'm creating. In this employee table, you have employee ID, first name, last name, and employee ID is a primary key. Okay. Before this, let me tell you what is primary key. Just a minute. Just a minute, please. Okay. Let me tell you first of all what is primary key. I know many of you know this, but still let me cover what is primary key. One more thing I want to highlight here. That's good. You guys are focusing more on the programming skills like SQL, Python, okay, and the reporting tool like Power BI. But equally, it is very important to understand that ETL architecture. Okay. So nowadays, like when I take interview, candidates they are good at SQL, but they fail to explain the ETL architecture. Architecture means different layers of ETL. What is dimension? What is fact? What is star schema? Snowflake schema? When we should go for star schema? When we should go for snowflake schema? Pros and cons. So please spend some time understanding this ETL architecture as well. This is very important. Okay. So what is primary key? So primary key is a column of a table, and it has the below two features like should not be duplicate, okay, and it should not have no null values. Okay, so the column which is not duplicate and if it doesn't have any null value, you can tell it as a primary key. Like your Aadhaar card. Can we tell your Aadhaar card is a primary key? Yes.
Yes.
You will not see any two Indians having the same Aadhaar card number, right? Each and every Indian they have separate Aadhaar card number. So it means that's not duplicate. You will not see any Indian with a null value of Aadhaar number, right? So Aadhaar card is a good example of your primary key. Your PAN card, your voter ID. Okay, these all are a very good example of your primary key. Account number. Okay. So suppose I have this employee table and here I have ID, name, salary. Okay. Now here tell me which column is a primary key.
ID.
Employee ID.
Why not name?
His name is also
It can be duplicated. Like two people can have a same name.
Okay. So here in this table, if I'm talking about this data only, okay, listen very carefully. In this table employee, if I'm talking about this data only, first of all, concentrate on ID column. Do you have any duplicate?
no.
No.
No. Do you have any null value?
No.
No.
So this ID column, it is satisfying both the conditions of a primary key. So right now I will tell that ID column is a candidate key. Candidate key means all those columns which are fulfilling the condition of a primary key, those are known as candidate key. See, right now I have not announced, I have not published, I have not declared that ID will be a primary key or not. No, I am just telling that ID is fulfilling the conditions of the primary key. So this is my candidate key. Like in election, what happened? You have multiple candidates. Although we don't have any requirement for anyone to be elected, or they can fight that election for a candidate for any position, MLA, MLC, MP, or whatever it may be, right? But in situations where you have the prerequisite that you must fulfill this, so like that, right now I can tell that ID is a candidate for primary key, right? Because it is fulfilling both the condition. So I will tell ID is a candidate key. Okay. What about name? Do you have duplicate?
No.
No. Do you have null?
No.
No. So as of now, for this data only, I agree that maybe tomorrow I will get one more employee with the name Raj or Akash. I agree, totally agree. But as of now, for this data set, do you have duplicate value in the name column? No. Do you have null in the name column? No.
No,
So
not
can I tell that name is also a candidate key?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. So far, ID is fulfilling the conditions of a primary key. What are the conditions? It should not be duplicate. It should not store null value. So ID is fulfilling both the conditions. What about name? Name is also fulfilling both the conditions. Name is not having duplicate value. Name is not having null. So name is also fulfilling the conditions of a primary key. So this ID and name are known as candidate key. What about salary?
It's having null value, so it cannot be a candidate
It
key.
is having null value, even it has duplicate. So salary cannot be a candidate key. Hope it is clear so far. You understood what is candidate key?
Yes.
Okay. So see, so far I have not declared which column is a primary key. I'm just evaluating each and every column, and I'm checking which is satisfying the conditions of a primary key. So ID is satisfying the conditions of a primary key. Name is satisfying the conditions of a primary key. So these are known as candidate. Okay. Now next we will decide that which column should I make as a primary key, ID or name. Now tell me which one should I assign a primary key. Come on, who will tell?
ID.
ID.
Why not name?
In future, there might be a chance of duplication of the names.
No, future. I agree. In future, maybe you can have duplicate name. I agree. For the time being, for this data only, tell me. Suppose this is a static table. For this data, tell me. Tell me quickly, guys. Which one you will prefer, ID or name?
We
It
can
will
choose
be ID, but
Both.
either ID or name.
See, this is a very common interview question. Mostly it is asked to freshers, but sometime I have seen even to experienced resource, they can ask this question. Can we have more than one primary key in a table? Okay.
no.
Yes, sir. We can have like composite primary key to uniquely identify a record in a table. So we go for multiple columns. So in here, ID and name we can use it as I said, to uniquely identify a record.
Mhm.
We can go
That
for
is different. There is one good answer, but the composite primary key concept, no, that comes into different scenario. That is good. I will come to that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Sometimes, sir, even we need to create a primary key by just concatenating the two columns. And
I will come to that. That's good. I will come to that. I'm not discussing composite primary key as of now.
okay,
When
sir.
the scenario will come, that's good. Good answer. We'll discuss it. So right now I have seen that ID column, and this is very confusing concept. So that's why listen very carefully and don't only think from interview perspective because finally you have to work in project. I have seen developers, they are committing mistakes on the simple things, and the consequences are very dangerous. You will not believe like what are consequences we have faced. Because of these minor mistakes, we have got duplicate data and the numbers, the asset number, I suppose it was it should be 2 billion US dollar. And on the report, we are publishing 4 billion US dollar. And imagine the scenario, the business analyst is giving demo to the stakeholders, right? And the asset is showing as 4 billion US dollar. All the stakeholders are surprised that till last week it was 2 billion US dollar. What magic we have done, and it is just duplicate. It is because of very simple mistakes. So data engineers, that's why they have to be very careful. Okay, while creating pipelines, data pipelines. Sometimes you will see that the source team has not sent duplicate, but because of incorrect joining condition, you will get a lot of duplicate records. Someone has asked the same question in the group. I think Weber has asked, who has asked that the numbers record is double. It is because when you're not joining two tables on the correct column. Anyway, we'll discuss all these things. Why I brought that discussion here because the consequences are very dangerous. So you must know the simple things. So far here, ID and name, they both are satisfying the condition of a primary key. So they are known as candidate key. Okay. Now, next. Okay, Tanvir, these two are a candidate key, but to whom you will assign as a primary key? First of all, in a table, in a table, it is possible, in a table, it is possible that you can have multiple columns which are satisfying the conditions of a primary key. It is possible. Suppose I have a citizen table, okay, and it's like name, Aadhaar number, voter ID card number, PAN number, right? Right. Nowadays, like all our Aadhaar number, PAN number, and all these things are. I mean, in the banks, you have to, what I can say, have to link them and all those things, right? So now everyone, the government officials know about your each and every transactions, your number of bank accounts, and all those things. Okay. So now that's why, suppose in this column, in this table citizen, do you think Aadhaar number, voter ID, and PAN number, they all are satisfying the conditions of a primary key, right? So can we tell that these all are candidate keys? Correct. But in this citizen table, you can assign any one column as a primary key. It's very important concept. You cannot assign Aadhaar number as well as voter ID as well as PAN number as a primary key. No. In any table, it is possible. I'm telling it is possible that maybe one column is satisfying the conditions of a primary key, but you can assign any one column. Like in a country, you can have only one prime minister. In a state, you can have only one chief minister, right? So similarly, in a table, you can assign only one column as a primary key. Even I agree, I accept it that maybe other columns are also satisfying the conditions of a primary key, but you have to assign only one column as a primary key. Is this clear? Okay. Hope it is clear so far.
Yes.
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 Okay, now then in this employee, so you understood what is candidate key. So in this citizen table, what are the candidate keys?
Other voter and PAN number.
Aadhaar, voter and PAN number, these all are the candidate key. Now coming to employee, now the question is that Tanvir, okay, fine, ID and name, they both are satisfying the conditions of a primary key. So which one you will assign? So generally when you are assigning, okay,
Employee.
when you are assigning primary key, so the first preference should be given to the column which has data type as integer or number anyone. Okay, that is given the top priority because they are good from performance perspective. Means when you will create indexes on them, it is good from performance perspective. So that is why in this employee table, I will assign ID as a primary key. Hope it is clear. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now in citizen table, which column you will assign as a primary key? Tell me.
Other number.
Why other number?
Numeric only.
Because it is numeric.
It is numeric only, right? Voter ID is alphanumeric. PAN number is also alphanumeric, but Aadhaar number is numeric.
Numeric.
So yeah. So hope you understood, guys, what is primary key. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Now primary key and candidate key is clear. Now sometime what happened in a table. Okay. Sometime what happened in a table. Suppose I have this HR table. Okay. And here I have first name, last name, department, salary, gender. Okay. First name is Raj Kumar. Department is HR. Salary, gender is male. Department is HR. Okay, gender is female. First department. Just department. Now, in this table, do you think first name is satisfying the conditions of a primary key?
No.
So
No.
No.
Why? Because you have duplicate here, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Do you think last name is satisfying the conditions of a primary key?
No.
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 Because you have Kapoor duplicate here, right? Do you think department is satisfying the condition? No. Salary? No.
No.
Gender? Batteries low. Okay, so salary is also not satisfying, gender is also not satisfying. So do you have candidate key here?
No.
No. So here in this table, none of the column is satisfying the conditions of a primary key, correct? Clear? So many time it happens in your Lok Sabha election or in Lok Sabha election, if a single party is not having the majority, like suppose if Congress is not having the majority or BJP is not having the majority, then what they will do? They will make a coalition government, right? Like Congress, you have that UPA, BJP, you have NDA, right? Similarly, here, when a single column is not satisfying the conditions of a primary key, then what will happen? Two columns, okay, they together will try to satisfy the condition. Now, first name and last name, these two columns together, do you think they are satisfying the conditions of a primary key?
Yes.
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 Yes, they are satisfying the conditions of a primary key. Do you have null here? No.
No.
Do you have duplicate? Do you think Raj Kumar is also present here? It is Raj Kapoor. Raj Kapoor is different than Raj Kumar, correct? Akshay Khanna is different than Akshay Kapoor. So now first name, last name together, they together are satisfying the conditions of a primary key. So now I will assign first name, last name both as a primary key. And here, because we are taking more than one columns to satisfying the conditions of a primary key, so it is known as composite primary key. Is this clear? Is this clear,
Yes, sir.
guys?
Yes, sir.
You never know, sometime in an interviewer can ask you the silly questions. Okay. So this is your composite primary key. Okay. Now, suppose you have one more record. Now, can you tell? Now, can you tell that combination of first name and last name is satisfying the conditions of a composite primary key?
No.
No.
No, because this is Swati Kumari. Again, you have Swati Kumari. So now we have duplicate, correct? So now in this case, you cannot tell that first name and last name is your composite primary key. Clear? Okay.
Yes.
So now what we will do, then we have to check the third column combination. Now tell me, if I will take the combination of first name, last name, and department, so do you think this three combination will make a composite primary key now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now Swati Kumari HR, Swati Kumari cells, it is different. So now in this table, the composite primary key is first name, comma, last name, comma, department. So this is your composite primary key. I remember in 2016 to 19, yeah, I was working in a real estate project. Okay, it was Pembroke ERD, if anyone has worked, they're very famous for real estate. So at that time, I was handling their database where they are investing the investors' money in constructing uh, big like malls, complexes, and all these things. Okay, but it was very mega project in Japan, China, Europe, Germany, and all those places. So there we have to manage their database, like how many buildings they have constructed, what's the total money they invested, how many area they have given for lease, when the lease period will start, when the lease period will end, which floor we have given to to whom, okay, the tenant name, the rent-free period, okay, and when the lease will be over, how much we have earned, if we are incurring losses, so what are the losses and all those things. Okay, that was very interesting. So in that project, so I have taken combination of 6 columns to make a composite primary key. Okay, because it was like you have a building name. Okay, now in the same building you can have multiple floors. Okay, in one floor you can have multiple flats. Correct? You know that is possible. And then again in flat you have tenant. So sometime what happens? Suppose the building name is I forgot the name, very typical name they have. Uh, suppose which name I can use. Suppose Green City. I'm just checking this one. And the floor is second floor. Okay, flat number is and the second floor we have again multiple flats. Okay, flat number is 03, or maybe something like you have. The, again, in each floor now they have different sections. Okay, then in each section they have flats. Then in flats they have tenant. Sometimes two tenants have the same name. So in that case, I remember like I have taken the combination of 6 columns to make a composite primary key. So in composite primary key, it is not necessarily only 2 columns you have to take, or only 3 columns you have to take. You can take combination of any columns, 4, 5, 6, any columns. But there you have to be very careful. Or better, I will suggest, if you don't know the business properly on which you are working, take the help of business analysts and ask them that which column should I consider as a composite primary key. Hope it is clear. So this is your primary, this is all about your candidate key, primary key, and composite primary key. Any questions so far?
Yeah, one question is, okay, suppose we are having 2 columns, a combination of 2 columns has to be satisfy the condition.
Hmm.
It is called as a composite primary key, right?
Yes,
The same
yes.
concept. Okay.
It means like if 2 columns, if single, first of all, you have to check single column. If none of the single column is satisfying the conditions of a primary key, then you have to check the combination of 2 columns. Now in the combination, first name and last name I have taken first, right? So
Yeah.
at that time, even you can challenge that. Then can I take first name and department? Can I take first name and salary? Can I take first name and gender?
Mhm.
That is what I told you. You have to connect with your business analyst. Okay. So suppose for
Okay.
today's data, if you will take the combination of first name and salary, or first name or gender, it is working, or first name or department, it is working. But you never know tomorrow what type of data you will receive from the sales source team. Okay. So always my recommendation is never assume yourself the primary key or the composite primary key. Never. Okay. Even the business analyst is telling you, so you apply your logic, but again get a confirmation from them over email that okay, as discussed, I'm considering this column as a primary key. Please acknowledge. Okay, because that is very important, because based on the primary key, then you will design your dimension table, fact table, star schema, snowflake schema. Everything will be based on the primary key. And for that, you have to understand the grain of your ER diagram. That is very important, which comes under data modeling. Okay, especially the technical tech architect, they will perform all those things. It's very interesting actually. Okay, the designing, the modeling of a database.
One
Okay,
more
any
question.
yeah.
One more question. Is composite primary key can have more than one?
Oh, I told you, no? Like more than means 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns,
No,
any
no, no,
number
no.
of columns.
No. Not I'm like asking like that. Like for the primary key, only one column will be the primary key. Suppose
Yes,
here I'm
yes.
having composite primary key as first name and last name. Again, I wanted to make the composite key for salary and gender. So I'm
Oh,
asking.
okay. Got it. Sorry, I misunderstood. So you are telling Tanvir here first name and last name combination. Suppose if it is making composite primary key, or maybe suppose in my project I discovered that salary and gender is also making composite primary key. Correct? So which one I have to select? Is that your question?
Yes.
Ah, so yeah, that is possible. That combination of any other 2 columns can also make composite primary key, but you have to select any one combination. Okay, either you go for first name and last name, or you go for salary or gender. But better discuss it with your business analyst. But generally, in your mapping sheet, okay, the mapping sheet is an Excel sheet in which the business analyst will tell you the number of tables which you have to use in each and every layer, the column names, the transformation knowledge, the data type, the domain values, everything will be mentioned in that. So generally the business analyst, they will mention the primary key for each and every table in the mapping sheet. But suppose if it is not mentioned, or if you think that it is not the correct, so connect with them and ask them. And you must ask question. Generally, I have seen, especially the developers, the testers, they hardly they ask question in the discussions, especially with the client call. They will not ask any question. That gives a very bad reputation. Okay, so feel free ask questions. Okay. Okay. Again, don't ask just any useless question because you have to ask something. Please ask a meaningful question, but ask question, prove your existence in the meeting. Don't feel shy, okay, because that gets a very bad remark. Because what happened, then we have a call, the retro call with the clients. They will ask this question to us that why you developers, the testers, the leads, they're not asking question. Whatever we are telling, they are accepting it, they're digesting it. The same thing if you, and those who are following me on LinkedIn, I posted yesterday that challenge the system. You must ask it, you must challenge it, try to break it. Okay, then you can prove that it is strong. Okay, this is very, it goes very bad impression if you're not asking questions. Okay, so hope it is clear, guys.
Means every table like primary only one primary key. Same thing,
Hmm.
composite key also one only. There
Yeah,
not
yeah,
be a chance.
yeah. No,
Okay.
no. You have
Thank you.
to assign anyone. Okay, so this is your candidate key, primary key, and composite primary key. Now the next is surrogate key. Okay, this I have covered in my ETL batch. I will tell you quickly what is surrogate key. Okay, suppose I have, take the example of this only. Okay, take the example of this only. So this is location. Okay, suppose he is in Hyderabad, he is in Delhi, he is in Bangalore. Okay, so this is the location of each and every employee. Fine. Now what happened? This Raj, okay, currently he is in Hyderabad. So, but because of some project task, he is relocated to Bangalore. Okay. So now what I have done, I have updated this table and I changed Hyderabad to Bangalore. Okay. So do you think this is the correct thing I have done here? Yes or no? Tell me quickly.
No, sir. I think we can have two columns saying location one, location two, or something like that.
Good. So those who have undergone the ETL classes, they can understand it. So here you see Raj was in Hyderabad, then he is transferred to Bangalore. So if I'm updating the location here, okay, and suppose from this data, can you tell me before Bangalore where Raj was located?
No.
No.
Hyderabad.
No.
Oh, sorry.
From this data, how you can tell, right? You know
Okay.
here that he was in Hyderabad, correct? Suppose
Yeah.
if I'm showing this table only. From this table, can you tell me? No, it's not
No,
possible,
no,
correct?
no.
So for that, suppose the same concern your manager raised that, okay, Tanvir, you are updating this location of Raj from Hyderabad to Bangalore. But suppose after 1 year, if the director or the manager wants to know that where Raj was located before Bangalore. So how you can get that information? So I told, okay, fine, I will create a history here. Now you see, from this data, it is clear now where Raj was located before Bangalore. He was in Hyderabad, correct? Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay.
But
So,
here, which one is the current? We are not able to identify.
okay, fine then. So generally, when you're maintaining history, we have a table, we have a column which is known as current indicator. In some project, it is known as current indicator. In some project, it is known as active flag. Okay, and this will be Y or N. Okay, Y or N. If it is Y, it means these records are active. If it is N, it means this record is not active. Hope it is clear. Any question? And this is known as your SCD type 2, slowly changing dimension type 2, because we are maintaining history here. Is this clear, guys? Yes or no?
Amir, so one doubt, SCD
Yeah,
type 2 means you should like keep old data and also new data in the same table. Like
correct. You are maintaining history. For Raj, I
history.
am maintaining history. That is known as SCD type 2, slowly changing dimension type 2. And this is known as SCD type 1, very common term in any ETL project. This is known as SCD type 1. In type 1, you're not maintaining history, you will directly update this. Okay, so those who have worked on Informatica, so you might have used this feature there. So you can directly, if the new record is there, sorry, if the existing record is there with the new value, so you will directly update it. So you see here in this scenario, I directly updated Raj from Hyderabad to Bangalore. I'm not interested in the history here. Sometimes it happens that in your project, you're not interested in maintaining history. So in that case, this is known as history type 1. You directly update it with the new value. But in some scenarios, you want to understand the history. So in that case, it is city type 2. You're maintaining the history. Is this clear? Have I answered your question, Niharika? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so now here one thing is good that you have maintained the history. Now here you can see that Raj earlier he was in Hyderabad, now he's in Bangalore. But there is one problem here with this data. Can you tell me what's the problem?
ID and name for Raj are duplicating.
Good. Now here, can you tell that ID is a primary key?
No.
No, now the ID one is duplicate. So you cannot tell that this ID column is anymore a primary key. Is this clear? Okay. Now if you will join this table, this employee table, with any other table based on the ID column, because suppose you are under the impression that ID is a primary key. So you will get duplicate records because this 1 and 1, right? You will get duplicate records. So that is why to solve this problem. So this the problem is clear. What's the problem here? Now to solve this problem, I will create a new column which is known as surrogate key. And generally it is given as underscore SK. Okay. So what this will do, it will create some sequential number here. Now in this table, this will be your primary key. So this is known as surrogate key. Okay. So in any table, wherever you are maintaining SCD type 2, you will see you will be having a new column with the name SK. Okay, those who are working in ETL project, you please observe it. And this is known as surrogate key. And the purpose of this key is now this will act as a primary key. Hope it is clear.
Means we are adding extra column.
Extra
and
column. Yeah. Just to have a new primary key. Because this ID will no more a primary key for this table because you are maintaining history and this is duplicate.
Okay.
Hope it is clear, guys.
But I have one question here. So let in previous table, like instead of numeric, it is string is a primary key.
Mhm.
Then in this case also it will create like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means it will be every time it will be like numerical order like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this way.
Now in this case, what will happen? It will create a sequence, just a sequence number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then again, if you have new record 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like that, will keep on generating the numbers.
Means whatever may be the data type of primary key.
Whatever it may be, it is not bothered about that. It will always be number. It will generate that number here.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, any other question, guys? So far we have discussed primary key, composite primary key, surrogate key, and then what is that? Candidate key. Okay. Now there is a concept of not null. Okay. What's the meaning of not null?
No null
Not
values.
something value has to be there.
There has
Null
to be
values are
some value.
not allowed. Suppose take the example of this table. Session is still alive or not? Let me check. Okay, what table is not there? I can delete everything. Why it is throwing error message?
Second last name is null, and we are
Not null.
printing null.
Yeah,
That's why.
Good, because here in the last name I have mentioned here not null. It means I'm telling SQL engine that please don't accept null value for this. Okay, but here I'm trying to pass the null value. That is why engine is throwing error message that then you are trying to insert null. We cannot accept null value because we have mentioned here that nulls are not allowed. Is this clear? Can you give me a real-time example of this? Can you give a real-time example? Yes.
Aadhaar number,
Aadhaar card.
Aadhaar card is fine. Any other example?
birth date,
Okay. See, many times when you're filling an online form, okay, and you will see a small red color asterisk with the star. Have you seen that?
yes,
What is the meaning of that?
mandatory fill that column.
That's correct.
Yes, it means that field is mandatory, right? You have to pass the value. You have to fill some value there. Otherwise, if you will not fill the value there, what will happen? If you submit the form, what will happen?
It will not acceptable.
Yes, it will pop up an error message that you are missing some mandatory fields, right? So how
Yeah.
they are enabling it with the help of this only, not null. It means you must have to pass some value. And sometimes if it is not applicable for your case, so you will mark it as NA or something, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen, guys? Is it still visible?
Yes, sir.
Someone else is talking. It's connected. Okay. Hope my screen is visible and voice is audible to everyone, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I think I was logged out from Zoom. Okay, so this is your not null. Hope it is clear. So whenever you have to make a column mandatory, you can mark it as a not null. So they have to pass some value there. Okay. Now, not null, then unique constraint.
But here we can keep it blank, right? Means like within inverted comma.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me show you that. This is what you're telling, right?
Yes.
So see, when you're keeping this value as an inverted comma, okay, and you're giving, suppose if I'm giving some space or some value here, and you have marked it as a not null, it means nulls are not allowed. For this, what will happen? First of all, I will show you one thing. Do describe implying. And if you remember the very first class when I have taken, So it is not null. It means, if you remember, I have told you that we'll discuss what this. It means this will not accept null values. Okay. But if you're giving blank, you see, I given blank a space here. Select the star from. I'm gonna check the data. What happened here? So you are able to insert the blank value, right? Because you have given the condition for not null, that null values will not be accepted, and you're passing blank. So you remember when I was teaching you difference between zero, blank, and null, right?
Yes, yes.
So do you
Yes.
think blank and null are same?
No.
No, it is not same. That is where blank it will accept, but null it will not accept. But if your question is that Tanvir, I want even blank, it should not accept. Then for that again you can add one more constraint check. We'll discuss about that. It will not allow blank as well. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, because in database world, blank and null are entirely different things. They are like difference. Okay, so now
Can you please show me the syntax of composite key?
I will
How can you
show
do?
you that. I will show you
Oh.
that. I will show you that. Come to that one by one. So unique. Now let me show you unique constraint. Now the next is the unique constraint. Okay, now see here I'm trying to create an employee table, and I have written ID is a column, builder type number, and I have written unique here. So unique means this ID must be having unique values. Unique value means duplicates are not allowed. Okay. So how you can write value for this? Insert into EMP values. So suppose I will write one and then name is Rohan. Okay. So this one Rohan is inserted. Right? If you want to check the data, you can check this. Select star from EMP. So now you have Rohan. Now tell me one thing. If I will insert one Rakesh, do you think this record will be inserted?
No,
No,
No, sir.
Why?
unique
it's a duplicate.
constraint
ID
from
number.
ID.
It is because I have, while creating the employee table, I have assigned ID with a constraint which is unique. It means the ID will store only unique values. Now I am trying to insert a new record with the same ID1, which is already present in this table, correct? Now you see, it is throwing error message that unique constraint violated. The engine is telling Tanvir, you are violating the unique constraint because you have mentioned here that ID column will be unique. It means it will store only the unique values. Already you have a record with ID1. Then why again you are trying to insert a new record with the same ID? We will not allow this. Hope it is clear.
Yes.
This is clear. Now what if I will write 2 here? Do you think it will accept?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me check. Oh, that's good. It has accepted because ID2 is different than ID1. Hope it is clear, guys. Do you have any question?
Suppose if I doesn't provide any value for ID and give a name, will it accept it?
Okay, good. Now see, very common interview question. Okay. You can think that, okay, Tanvir, here you are telling ID will not accept duplicate, right? Then what is the difference between unique and primary key? Even your primary key was not accepting duplicate. Unique is also not accepting duplicate. Then what's the difference? Correct? Correct now.
Yes, sir.
Now see, this is the difference. I'm adding a value ID with null, and suppose the name here is. It has accepted null.
Yes.
Now you tell me what is the difference between primary and unique.
Primary basically unique plus not null.
Hmm.
And in
So-
unique case, unique
Hmm.
only it will take unique, but it will accept the null.
Good. So primary key has to fulfill two conditions. First condition is it should not be duplicate. Second condition is all the null should not be there, right? But in unique key or unique constraint, only one condition is there. As the name indicates, all the values must be unique. It means duplicates are not allowed, but nulls are allowed. Is clear?
Tanvir,
Yes.
You tell me.
Can it accept more than one null value?
Yeah, I will show you that. That is
No,
an interesting thing.
it will not accept.
Let's see, I will show you that. This is a very interesting scenario. Okay, how many of you think that if I will insert this value, now tell me, do you think it will accept or not?
Yes.
No, it will
Accept,
not
No, it will
accept.
not. It will not accept.
Why it will not accept?
Null will be duplicate.
Do you think two nulls are same?
No.
No.
But system will understand this is null means it is duplicating that.
How system will understand that?
That means like 1 like it is like duplicating, like in same way it will take that null.
But my question is, do you think two nulls are same?
No.
It can be, it cannot.
It may be or may
No.
not be.
Maybe may not be, correct.
Yes.
So then you cannot declare that two nulls are same, right?
Yes.
Can you declare that? You can declare it, correct? That is why I have told you in the very beginning. Null always have very strange behavior. You have seen in joins, you have seen in those aggregate functions, you have seen in average, count, distinct, group by. So that's why in your interview, almost 99.9% guarantee I can give you one question you will face from them. Now see, I'm running this query. What happened, guys? Check the data. Null Yusuf, null Abdul. System has accepted or not? Engine has accepted or not?
Yes.
Accepted.
Yes, because two
Accept.
nulls are not same. Simple.
But Tanvir, it may be same also, right?
It may be same also. I agree. But generally two nulls are not same. You cannot declare that they are same. So that is why it is considered that two nulls you cannot tell whether they are same or not. So that is on the safer side, we tell they are not same. But if you think about distinct, now see, when I will write select distinct ID from employee. Now here you can ask question that if two nulls are not same, then why engine is giving only one null here? We have discussed this because here your engine consider null as a bucket of assumption. Two nulls are a bucket of assumption, so it is showing only one bucket of assumption. So it is really strange, correct? Is this clear?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's why, from my understanding and experience so far, and null is very dangerous. We have faced throughout my career of 13 years in IT industry. Multiple bugs, lot of defects, lot of issues, lot of escalations we have faced because of Null. That's a very big story. It will take more than 3-4 hours to explain you what all scenarios we have faced, a lot of things. Once what happened in my project, the developer, he blindly ignored the Null. Oh my God. But this will happen if you don't understand the things from basic, from the root. That is why I recommend understanding each and everything. He ignored the null values. And you know what happened? The values which were null, actually they were holding transactions of $1 million. And finally, when we published the number on the report, the numbers decreased drastically. And you know, like when the data analysts and the business analysts, we were giving demo to the stakeholders, because they will ask you demo from the live data. Okay, and the live data, if you are working nowadays on the stream processing, live data will always keep on changing, correct? So when we were published, we were showing the demo. So suddenly we thought, oh my God, how the number has decreased. Because everyone was shocked because something went wrong with our system, or what happened. Whether our stock price, the share price has crashed, something happened, that the revenue suddenly it is decreased. So then quickly we bring that, means that we have scheduled a very brainstorming session, and just currently we are discussing the root cause of that what happened exactly. Then we found that the developer has rejected all the null value. He told that I thought this null is of no use, so let's ignore or reject all the null from the staging. He removed all the null values from the staging, and they were having huge transactions. So that is why it is very important to understand the null, how to treat them. Okay, so a lot of scenarios we have faced because of this.
Yes, and to understand that solving of that scenario, it will take kind of hours to understand what was
Yes.
the issue.
Now to debug it, it takes hours, no doubt. It takes
Yes,
hours
sir.
because a lot of pipelines are there, a lot of logics are there, a lot of pairs are there. You will start from the and then so that is why then you slowly what happened, the review processes started. That okay, when a junior resource will write a code, then the lead they have to review it. Okay, because
Yes.
experience matters. Okay, so hope it is clear, guys. Any questions so far? And I want you guys to quote this project examples in your interview. Okay, that is how you can showcase, even if you have not worked in any data related project, if you showcase these examples, whatever I'm telling you, this will help you a lot. Okay. So interviewer will be having an impression that, oh, this guy has worked in the project, then only he can tell all these scenarios. Okay. So hope it is clear. So far we have discussed primary key, unique key, and then we have discussed
Tanvir,
candidate key. Yes.
here like if you little bit up your scroll bar.
Sure. Yeah, tell
So
me.
in case of like ID number, we are putting unique. So
Hmm.
instead of ID number, when we are putting primary key, or instead of primary key, if we write unique comma not null, then that behavior is same, right? That is basically.
If you will mark it as not null, then it will not accept the null values. Okay. But for that again, you have to mark it as a primary key.
No,
Okay.
actually,
I understood. Your scenario is like I want a column which is not a primary key, but my expectation is it should not store duplicate, it should not store null. That is what you're telling, right?
yes.
Then you can do that. Yeah. You can do it.
So that time will it treat as a primary key or no?
No, 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 no. It will not be treated as a primary key, sir. Because I have already explained you in a table, you can have that will be a candidate key. That will be a candidate key. Okay. And this all has to be taken care by data engineers. This is not the task of data analyst, business analyst, tester. No. Data in whatever I'm teaching you today, all this constraint, these all are the responsibility of data engineer. And especially they have to take care of this in the staging layer when they're getting data from the source team. Okay. Hope it is clear so far. Shall I proceed further?
Sir, one query.
Yeah.
Regarding this surrogate key, in which scenario we need to define that surrogate key?
In SRE type 2, you see here why we need surrogate key, because we are maintaining history here. Now to maintain history, we have disturbed this primary key. Now it is having duplicate record. So now this ID is no more a primary key. That is why we are creating a new column, and this is your surrogate key.
Okay, it means that in wherever we need to keep the history, then in that
Correct.
we can
Correct.
use
Surrogate key. That is mandatory. You have to use surrogate. Otherwise, it will disturb the entire landscape. Everything will be disturbed. Because based on this, then you will create fact table, then you will create a star snowflake schema, then access layer, then data mart. Everything will be on top of it. So that is why in data related projects, so if you are good in skills, they will also check your experience, that have you worked here or not, because these scenarios are very important. Okay, so that's why you must know. Suppose you are going from Delhi to Bangalore, right? How to ride a car. That is fine. But suppose there is one more guy who also knows how to ride car, and he is going from Delhi to Bangalore. But earlier he has went from Delhi to Bangalore n number of times. So he knows all the path, that where I will get traffic, where the road is not good, where the toll will be there, and all this stuff. That will be good for him. And suppose someone is going for the first time, so maybe he will think that, oh, I have taken a long path. Oh, if I would have gone by that way, it would have been better, and all this stuff, right? But that is why in data related profile, it is required that one should have worked in this project. Then only he should know that what all scenarios I will face, where I have to be careful, and all those things. Okay.
Yes.
Fine. And that is why when many of you has approached me that, okay, Tanvir, I'm planning for data scientist. So I will recommend that no. First of all, work as a data analyst at least for 2 years, so that you will understand what is a project related to data, what all challenges you will face. Then if you are planning for data scientist, and if you are enriching your skill sets, it will give you a better experience, because I have seen scenarios where someone is very new to the IT industry, okay, as a fresher, and you are fascinated with the word data science. It's like a very fancy word these days. And when you entered, and you saw, oh my God, a lot of things are there. Okay, and then you will get frustrated, and finally they will think that, oh my God, IT industry is very tough. It's not like that. You're not following that process. Okay. So far we have discussed primary key, candidate key, unique key. What else? Surrogate key. So these all are the constraints we have discussed so far. Foreign and integrity. Okay, now I will cover this. I will be back in 2 minutes, guys. I will take a glass of water and be back. Okay, so now we'll start this foreign and integrity key. I thought of covering all this today. Let's see how much I can cover, not sure. Where is that? Alter. Okay, I will come to alter after this. Studying foreign key and this. Okay, this is the example. Hope my voice is audible to everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now listen to this very carefully. This is a really, really important concept. Okay. Don't only think from interview perspective, guys. Okay. Because sometimes it can miss. It might be possible that a particular topic is not important from interview perspective, but you never know. In project, you might have to use it. Okay. So here I'm trying to create a department table. Okay. So here in this department table, you have ID column, which is the primary key. You have name, you have location. Okay. And I'm inserting this value in this department table. It's very simple data. I know someone has asked me that how to assign composite primary key. So after this, I will discuss that. So now say in this department table, you have these values. Okay. So this is your department table. Okay, then I have employee table. And this employee table, I'm inserting these values. And this is the data. Okay, hope it is clear so far. Now in the same employee table, I'm inserting one more value. Okay. Same employee table, I'm inserting one more value. So ID is 104. And the name is Firoz. And here's some department ID 40. Okay. Okay, so engine is throwing error message. This is what I want to explain you. Listen very carefully. Engine is telling that Tanvir, you are violating integrity constraint. You see, it has mentioned your integrity constraint violated. Okay, it means I'm violating some rule here, some protocols here. Then it is telling parent key not found. Okay, let's try to understand this. First of all, I've created a department table. Very simple. This has ID, and then you have this name, location, and all this stuff. This is a department table. These values I have entered. Then I've created employee one table. I have ID column, INT primary key, the name, salary, department ID, INT. And this is something new you might have observed here, right? Yeah, this is what I want to explain you. The meaning of this is, I'm telling SQL engine that SQL in this employee one table, I am adding a column with the name department ID, which should be INT, but this department ID should refer, this department ID should refer department table and the ID column. This is the meaning of references, that this department ID should refer department table and ID column. What is the meaning of refer here? It means the value of department ID, whatever you're trying to insert, the value of department ID 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever you're trying to insert, value of this department ID, whatever you're trying to insert, that value must be present in department table and ID column. Here you are trying to insert department ID 10. Is this 10 present in this department table ID column? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Here you are trying to insert department ID 20. Is this 20 present in this department table ID column?
Yes.
Yes. Here you are trying to insert 30 department ID. Is this 30 department ID present in the department table and ID?
Yes.
Yes.
Here you are trying to insert department ID 40. Is this 40 present here?
No.
No. That is why engine is telling that Tanvir, here you have told me to refer this department ID with this department table and ID column. So sorry, here you are trying to insert 40 department ID, but Tanvir, this 40 is not present in the department table and ID column. So that is why, sorry, I will not allow you to insert this value.
Is it the foreign sir?
Yeah, it's foreign key. I will come to that. What is this clear? Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
so over here, once again, if we take 10, 20 or 30, that will be accepted.
Yes, that will be accepted. Again, if you have a new record with ID 10, suppose if you have one more record. Suppose you have a record 105. Okay. And suppose the name is Mihir. I think Mihir has asked this question.
Yes, sir.
So see, record is inserted Mihir. Please check it.
Yes,
It is not
yes.
bothered about duplicate or whatever it may be. It will just check. You are trying to insert department ID, right? Is this department ID present in department table and ID column? Yes, it is present. It will accept it. That's all.
Got it, sir.
Now my question is, I was trying to insert this record Firoz with ID 104 and department ID 40. Engine has not accepted, right? Because this ID 40 is not present here. But I want to insert this. It is mandatory. Then what I have to do? Tell me guys what I have to do.
Insert record into the department with the ID.
Good. Good. So what I have to do, first of all, in the department table, I have to insert a record with the department ID 40. Correct? And suppose this is sales department. Right? Now see, you have department ID 40 here in the department table. Check it. You have ID 40 now. Now if you will see, I will try to insert this record 40 Firoz. Now check. If the system has accepted this. Okay. Now the system has accepted this value. So this department ID is known as foreign key. Okay, because it is referring to this department table. Okay, so this department table is parent table and this employee one is child table. This department ID is your foreign key and it is referring this ID column of department table. This ID column will be primary key. And this is known as integrity constraint because they have this integrity relationship. This is also known as primary key foreign key relationship. Hope it is clear. So when you're designing your star schema, snowflake schema and all these things, this is very widely used.
Tanvi, one question out here.
Yes.
Okay. So foreign key, if I'm defining the foreign key, that foreign key has to be primary key, or I can define any column as a foreign key?
Now see here. Here in this table, which column is your foreign key?
Primary key.
Uh.
ID is the foreign key.
Department ID.
No.
Sorry, department.
Department ID. Department ID.
Yeah.
Is this
Yes.
department ID a primary key of this table?
No.
No. Now see here. I have this department ID, no? 10, 20, 30. Again, I have 10. Do you think this is a primary key? No. It is not mandatory. I understood your question. You are asking from this perspective, department level perspective, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I will come to that. So first of all, in the many other concepts are there in this primary key foreign key. It is not over. I'm just thinking how many questions you guys can ask. How many? I'm just checking like how much you are thinking, how much you're interested, or you're feeling bored. Okay, so this department ID, which is a foreign key, it is not necessary that it has to be primary key. Is this clear first of all?
Yes.
Okay. Believe me, throughout my career, I have asked questions based on this primary and foreign key. Hardly I have seen any candidate who is able to answer all these questions. Okay. So try to understand each and every piece of this. Department ID is a foreign key here, is a primary key here? No. So it is not mandatory that your foreign key has to be primary key. This is a misconception. Is this clear?
Yes.
Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now.
No, sir. Sir, can you explain again?
I should
Sir, the foreign key. Sorry. Just one thing I wanted to ask. Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, this foreign key over here, it has to be a primary key of the different table. It would be like this, right?
Oh, I am telling here which one is a foreign key first of all. Tell me.
Department ID.
Department ID. Okay. In this table, do you have duplicate department ID?
Yeah.
Yes. Then is it mandatory that foreign key has to be primary key?
No.
No, it is not mandatory. That is what I'm telling. A foreign key need not be a primary key. In this employee one table, ID is a primary key. Department ID is not a primary key, but it is acting as a foreign key. So it is not necessary that if a column you have assigned as a foreign key, then it has to be primary key. No, it is not mandatory. Clear?
Yes.
Is this clear, guys?
Yes. Sir, but the foreign key should be related to the primary key of the other table.
Other table I'm not talking at all here. I'm just talking about department ID, sir. I'm not went to this other table. I'm not talking about this. I'm just concerned about department ID as of now.
Okay, sir.
Is this department ID a foreign key? Yes. Is it mandatory that it has to be a primary key? That is my question. No, that's all.
No.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
this department ID is referring to which column?
ID column of the department table.
Good. This is referring ID column of department table. So here it is mandatory. Here it is mandatory. What? What is mandatory?
It should be connected
Primary key.
ID column should be a primary key.
Good. ID column must be a primary key. ID column must be a primary key. It is mandatory here. Okay, it must be a primary key. If it is not a primary key, then engine will not accept it. Okay. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Another one question.
One minute, hold on. I think there is some confusion. Hold on. I think there is some confusion. I cannot find that confidence in your voice, guys. So just a minute. Give me 1 minute. I'm removing everything from here. I'm dropping this drop table department. Okay, I have removed everything. Let's start from scratch again. I'm removing this primary key constant from this table. Okay, removed. Okay, I'm creating this in department table. I've dropped this table. Okay. Table is created department table. Which column is the primary key here in this department table?
No column.
No column. Good.
No column now.
No column. Okay. I'm inserting this value in the department table. Inserted. This is the value. Okay. Fine. Now I'm trying to create this employee one table, and this table has this department ID column. It is referring department table ID column. Okay. And here this table, this column is not a primary key. Let's check whether the engine will accept it or not. Let's check it. Has engine accepted?
No.
Has engine accepted, guys? Please reply.
No.
No.
No. What it is telling? No matching unique or primary key for this column. This engine is telling that Tanvir, what you are doing? You are assigning this department ID that it will refer the department table ID column, but here in this department table ID column, I cannot see primary key, right? So that is why it is mandatory that it has to be primary key. Hope it is clear now.
Yes, sir.
Is this clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now someone was asking a question. Please go ahead. Now again, I will revert. Okay. Just 1 minute. Guys. Let me revert it. So never be in dilemma, because if you are in dilemma, if you're not sure, so when you will answer question in your interviews, you will not be having that confidence. And once the interview will catch it, that oh, this guy doesn't have any confidence, he's just doing a hit and trial. That's all, interview is over. This is the department table. Right table. Now you please ask question. What you are asking, guys?
Okay. For employee, if I wanted to add the two, for the here we have added the references of the department ID. Suppose I'm having another table called the role, and there I wanted to add the foreign key for role ID also. Can I add that? Two primary key has to work as a foreign key. You got my question or no? I'm not sure.
Your voice was breaking, but I think I understood. I will repeat what I understood. Okay. So net, you are telling Lakshmi that Tanvir, okay, fine. You are showing here that the employee table is referring this department table and the ID column, but I have a requirement where I have one more table and I want this to refer that table as well. That is what you're telling, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Now, so for that, what you can do, the very simple is you mark this department table as a reference. It should give reference to that table. Okay, so it will make a chain here. Like you write here ID references, like how you have written here, department references, department ID. You mark your ID references, role table or whatever table you have, a comma role ID. You give it a try. And the same question someone has asked on the previous batch. So give it a try, this will work. Is this clear?
Yes. Another one thing over here. So for this question, cannot use the coalesce, because then we can say refer to that department one. Otherwise, use the another table for foreign means primary.
No, that is different use case. That is different use case. Okay. That is different use case. This is not the one. That is different one. Okay. So maybe if time permits, that's a little bit complex scenario. If time permits, we will discuss it. Okay.
Sure.
Now suppose I want to delete this department table. Okay, I want to delete this. I want to delete this. Okay. So why I'm getting this error message? I'm trying to delete this department table. It is saying integrity constraint violated, child record found. Why?
It is dependent
So
on
first
another
we have
table.
to delete employee table because as
No, see,
employee table is
again you're doing mistake. My question is why? You are giving me the solution. I'm not asking the solution. I'm asking the root cause. You are giving me the solution. My question is root cause. Why it is throwing error?
Here
See,
we are
that
having
you have to answer.
references.
Sorry?
We are having here we are having reference of the department, and that is why it is showing an error.
Okay, good. It is because Tanvir, you have an employee one table who is referring this department table. So this employee one is a child and this department is a parent. So you are trying to delete parent, but if this child is dependent on this parent, that is why engine will not delete it. Simple. Clear? Okay.
Yes.
But still, if you have to delete this, then what you have to do? First of all, Tanvir, please delete this employee table. Employee table deleted? Okay. Now delete the department table. Department table deleted? Clear? Is this clear?
Tanvir, basic question might be, so instead of deleting table, so can't we alter the definition of the table?
Alter, I will come to
I
this
can
after some time. I understood you are telling that Tanvir change the references and all these things, right?
Yes,
You
yes,
can do
yes.
that as well. Okay. I will come to alter afterwards. Do you have any other question from this constraints, guys?
Yeah, Tanvir, I have a question.
Yes, yes. Tell me.
So when we were trying to in the error, it was showing that we are not referencing unique or primary key of department table. So can we refer to unique key as well instead of primary key?
No. It has to be primary key.
Okay.
You have to mark it as a primary key. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Any other question? Okay. So far we have discussed the scenarios, and I agree that generally the interviewer they will not ask questions from this, but you never know. Sometime I have seen they're asking questions from these keys because they want to check your basics on how strong you are. Okay, so this is what we have discussed so far. I planned to cover this. This we have discussed so far, okay. So now let me cover alter. Let's do one thing. Actually, I'm not feeling well. So we will cover this tomorrow. Is it fine for you guys? Alter level, whatever I can. I thought of covering all this today.
Yes, sir.
No, Tanvir, I think you can take a rest and we can cover it next.
Yeah, we can take. Yeah, very silly topics, sir. Yeah.
We
Boring.
will take it tomorrow. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
No
So
issue.
in this actually correlated query level, it is important. Alter is simple. These all things are simple, but these two are important. We will take it tomorrow, and then what all next topic one. Recursive CT pivot. Okay, yeah, this too. Right, these three are the important one. Okay, this will help you to write complex query. These all are like formality because it is in the part of my curriculum. That's why I'm covering this. But you should know it. Okay, I'm not telling it is useless. You should know it, but these are very important. I'll try to cover tomorrow whatever I can. And guys, those who have questions from joins, if you don't mind, they will take it tomorrow. Okay, after 10. Or if you have some question where you're getting stuck, you want immediate solution, you connect with me, you post that question on my personal window WhatsApp. I'll look into that. So we'll connect tomorrow at the same time, 8 to 10. Okay.
Take care,
Okay.
Tanvir.
Okay.
You take care, Tanvir.
Take care,
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.